Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Hataraku maou-sama. The Devil is a Part-Timer is the English translation. Season 2, Episode 4. In the last episode, we arrived at arrived I say, we were at an amusement park and there were many a shenanigan to be had there because of course Mao and Emilia were being tailed, which is by this point pretty much a staple of this show. Mao, Emilia, and pretty much everybody else getting tailed at least once. We got to meet the not quite the mother, or maybe the keeper, the guardian of Alas Ramus, or at least of the tree thing that she came from, and we got to learn the mythology behind her. Right? I have it all noted down. It includes like Kabbalah, and it's like super deep for the kind of a show that Hataraku Maou-sama kind of presents itself as, right? And I think I mentioned it during the previous episode how you can take it at the face value as just a cool, fun little comedy, but then you look into Kabbalah, you look into Yesod, Kesed, Gebura, Keter, Malkuth, Bina, Sephiroth, and so on, and it suddenly becomes so much deeper. And all of that leads me to believe that the key to restoring that tree of life, the key to restoring Sephiroth, yeah, I think, or Sephiroth are those like crystals that Alas Ramus is one of them. I don't know. I already forgot. I think Alas Ramus is like Yesod because she's friends with Malkuth, something like that. In any case, she's the key to restoring the Tree of Life, or so I believe. And the angel, of course, appeared to kidnap her, to bring her back, to restore the Tree of Life, and while he's at it, to also bring Emilia's sacred sword, because might as well just do it all in a single trip, right? Of course, nobody would have it, and Chiho was the one who opposed it the most, and to the point where the angel had no choice, and he's gonna come back, I'm assuming today, and everybody else is preparing for his arrival. Everybody's getting battle ready. How exactly? I don't know. It's interesting because Mao and also Alsiel and uh, also Lucifer, they take their power from like misery, so they can actually get enough power to kick any angel's ass if the battle takes place in like open space and people are panicking. They can take that panic, that fear, and feed on it. If the angel just arrives to their little abode, they won't have much power, will they? They will have to kinda just trust Crestiabel and Emilia to maybe protect them, although they can't exactly go against the angels, so it's a very difficult and a very interesting situation. I wonder how they're gonna resolve it. One thing that also happened in the previous episode is, and I noted it down, it seems to me like Emilia's friend is having just a little bit of a crush on Ashia, and I hope we're gonna develop it even further. I mean, it's only episode 4, and we're already in the like arc of the angel trying to take away Alas Ramus, something that could have been the finale, right, the final battle against the angel, but it's only halfway through. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see where it goes. One thing of housekeeping, super sorry that this episode is like 2 days late. I meant to record it early yesterday, but I had to be somewhere, And then I went to Tower the City. Well, Tower the City, I spent some time sitting by the river, sometimes just walking around. When I came home, my phone just battery completely died, and it needed like full 8 or something like that hours to charge the battery from zero to a usable level. So I was left without a camera because I use my phone as a camera. That's also the reason why Yovka Shinouta is late. That's also the reason why Simfigure GX is gonna be late on Patreon a little bit. But I'm gonna go back into the swing of things really, really shortly. And with all that, I think we can just watch Hataraku Maou-sama, right? So here's your subs. Here's my sound. And also my reminder of support. If you want me to buy a real camera, you can support me on Patreon, on Throne, or not spend any money and support the channel still by sharing my content, spreading the word, because the word of mouth matters a very, very lot for the growth of a channel. And now, with all that shilling and promo out of the way, we can start watching episode 4 of Hataraku Maou-sama Season 2 version by Subs, please, in 3, 2, 1, go. Something weird happened with the animation there. Oh, is it just me? Or is animation and art getting just a little bit wonky in this episode? Patchy. And suddenly all my doubts have disappeared. Yeah, something was definitely getting just a little bit wonky at the beginning. I have my suspicion that they're simply trying to do some like interesting angles on characters, on faces, angles that you don't usually see in anime, precisely because they look odd, precisely because they're very hard to do, and they're trying to somehow do them, and I'm not sure if it doesn't quite work out, or is it simply my unfamiliarity with angles like that speaks here. Right? Because usually the angles in anime you see are between this and nothing more. Like you don't see a profile of characters. Very rarely you do. Or I guess the OP sequence just there just invalidated my belief that you don't often see profile. Yeah, you do see profile. Forget what I said. Like she will. Right, Sephira are those gems, and Alas Ramos is Yesod. Yeah, that's Kabbalah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Krestia's face is looking wonky here. Maybe, maybe not, yeah. Mm-hmm. Can't you, like, I don't know, produce more shards of Yesod or something? Probably not, but, just an idea. Yeah. He really is a great ruler, isn't he? He is. He very much is enlightened. His, like, uh, cover, his facade is that of a complete, complete nobody and a slob, but underneath, he is like millennia old demon king. Right. That's an interesting question. You wanted the fridge? Or is it like they wanted the technology or something? But if so, then why not, like, create trade relationships? Ah, photo. Yeah, the apartment isn't particularly big either. Okay, story from Papa. Oh, right, the story about how Mao met an angel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Shard of Yesod, or the Seed of Yesod. Except not really Medetashi Medetashi. I'm afraid. Yeah, it all boils down to that. Yep. That's an interesting sleeping position. Oh, hello, Gabrielle. Yeah, not really possible, I'm afraid. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, so one of the shards is inside of the sword. Interesting. Will Emilia give up her sword then? Hmm? Full Dogeza? Hmm. Certainly not a bad deal, but. I love Gabriel's voice actor. What legend. So many questions, so many mysteries. Oh, just force choke? Okay. 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 We're really getting in deep, aren't we? You guys are gods because of your lies. Oh, fuck. Alas Ramos just turned into a fucking projectile. Durandal. Yep, that's what Durandal is. Like a sacred sword. Interesting. He sent grunts. Right. Right, he's a former archangel. Yep. Throwing his position around. Hmm. That's a question and a half. Literally, in case of Emilia. Yeah, the chance is gone. Oh, that's not a great panic screaming face. Alas Ramus. Hmm? The fuck happened to Alas Ramus? She just vanished? Whomst. Emilia at full power. Well, not quite full, but partial power. I always love the combo of like regular clothes plus gauntlets and boots, like full plate. Oh, I guess there are swords stronger than Durandal. But he's retreating for now. Yeah, she's a half angel, we know that. What should Emilia think about? Ah, she's a half angel, sure, so going against Gabrielle is like going against half her family, kind of sort of deal, but I'm not getting the other, like the whole gravitas of the situation. Not quite. More like she just disappeared. She ran. She wasn't taken. And here's Alas Ramos. Here she is. She's back. Where, though? Oh, She became part of Emi's sword. Okay, Alas Ramus boosted Emi's sword and became a part of it. Okay. So Emilia's sword is Alas Ramus now. Or Alas Ramus is Emilia's sword. Okay. Because the sword already has a shard of Yesod inside of it. And since Alas Ramus is also a shard of Yesod. Yeah. Not a great situation to be in. The best outcome would probably be just not killing him. Oh, he's burning the incense that they burned when Alas Ramus appeared for the first time. No, not quite. Some wonky animations, some wonky faces in this episode. No, those are tears of joy. Indeed. Of course. Okay, I guess Suzuno is just with them. I don't think there is a risk of second coming of such a calamity. I don't think Mao, the way he is now, would want to bring any sort of calamity onto any sort of a world. Be it this one, or Ente Isla, or the other world of humans. That was an interesting episode. A lot of lore, a lot of world building, a metric fuckton of lore, actually. Very important lore to boot. I think the visuals took a little bit of a dive in this episode. I might be mistaken. I don't know. But I have the feeling that they did, in fact, take just a little, well, not even just a little bit, a fair bit of a dive compared to even previous episodes. Like the art and the animation in this season never was particularly amazing, right? Like right from the get go. But this episode was very wonky. I don't know. We're gonna go through it again and see for sure. Right? Like OP and ED look good, but then you have some. Oh, okay. The other wing. The fuck is the other wing? Okay, the women. Emilia's mother. Oh! Could it be that Emilia's mother is the The woman who has like control over Alas Ramus's little crest. Oh, that's interesting. Emilia doesn't know her mother. Or, no, wait. Could it be that the angel who saved the young Maou was Emilia's mother? That's also a possibility. Okay, okay, okay. So, how about we go through this episode again just to make sure? Shall we? From the very beginning, as usual. Chiho goes home, the rest remains. Yeah, you just protect Alas Ramus. Don't have to do anything more, just protect her. Yeah, this seems to be the same person who's the angel who saved Maou and also Emilia's mother. I have a feeling the three people are one and the same, right? Emilia's mother, Maou's savior, and the like Alas Ramus handler, or whatever you want to call her. Hmm. Yeah, I'm briefly looking at their faces here, and no, doesn't matter. Forget I said anything. It's not coming until morning, of course. Yeah, I'm looking for some like examples of wonky faces, but it seems like none of the frames I'm stopping at are particularly wonky. Like Crestia Bell's face here looks actually good, but like near the end of the episode, Crestia's face is kind of bad looking. When you see like her profile. This is what's going on with some of their faces. They're like very like they have no chin, right? Like someone smacked them in the chin and just flattened it completely, right? And Crestia also suffers the same fate somewhere later. Not here, but yeah. Okay. We're gonna get there when we get there. Hmm. We cannot involve Chiho, of course we cannot. If Alice Ramos really is part of the Sephiroth sought from the Tree of Life, she probably is. Question is exactly what Crestia Bell questions. Is the Tree of Life actually necessary? Oh, this shot. Right? Like, compare her profile here, or even here, with her profile here. And here especially. Right? Like some of those, she looks like she has a snout, like she's a fucking borzoi. Okay, not to that degree, but yeah, some faces are definitely wonky. He needs Alas Ramos to maintain universal balance. Yep, yep, yep. But again, there's no physical proof that the Tree of Life is sustaining the world. Indeed, no proof at all. And from what Alas Ramos says later, it might actually be like maybe not the opposite, but the angels might actually be using the pretense, the pretext of guarding the Tree of Life as a means of achieving like godlike status. Right? They're guarding something that doesn't need to be guarded. They tell everybody that they're responsible for something that they don't have to be responsible for, and that gives them the status, right? Oh, the protectors of the tree of life and whatnot. Meanwhile, the tree of life doesn't need protecting. It's just some fucking birch that just grew there, and they hang some glass balls on it and tell everybody those are Sephiroth, right? Something like that. It's a con. It's a long con, essentially. That's what I'm getting at. What made you want to conquer the world? Uh, and he says he speaks of the fridge. When you open it, the vegetables and milk you brought yesterday are inside. You make good food and you eat it. I believe His Majesty and the rest of us invaded Ente Isla because of something like that. Uh, I don't know. Is it like speaking of the fridge is like the quality of life, right? Comparing their quality of life. Our fridge is shitty and empty. Your fridge is big, new, and full of food. And we also wanted that. Could it be that, I don't know, the soil on Ente Isla can't be can't bear crops or something, or the demon realm suffers overpopulation, or some other issues that conquering the greener pastures would allow them to solve, right? Conquer the lands of humans and start planting crops there. Something along those lines? I don't know, I'm not sure. Alsiel is incredibly vague here. If I ever can work, I will. Sure you will. Tokyo Big Egg Town. Tell a story. Yeah, the story about the angel, we already heard that, but with actual Maou as the protagonist of it. Traveler became king and lived happily ever after. Not quite. That's the one discrepancy. He was supposed to be living happily ever after. He probably got greedy once he had power. I wonder if that's all there is to it. I wonder if it's actually like Mao just got greedy and decided to conquer other lands. I don't think so. I really don't take Mao as someone greedy. I really don't think that's the case. He's just putting himself down for something. He's taking the entirety of the blame on himself. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Not that he's actually like to be blamed for it fully, in the sense that it's just his whims that caused it. He must have had a legitimate reason. But we don't know what that reason is besides the fridge allegory, who that's an allegory to who the fuck knows what. And here's Gabriel. I need to look up his voice actor because I fucking love his voice actor. Hataraku maou-sama season 2. Let's take a look at it real quick. My anime list, sure, that works. Gabriel. Okay, Gabriel isn't listed here, but maybe on AniList. Characters. Where are you, Gabriel? Here he is. Gabriel is voiced by Takehito Koyasu, who also voiced... Oh, Oji-san in Isekai Oji-san. Interesting. I haven't seen Isekai Oji-san, so I can't speak of it. Yet interesting that he got two roles in the same season, essentially. Dio Brando! Okay. Again, I haven't seen JoJo, but I recognize a character when I see him. Dio Brando. Who else? Someone in Shaman King. Someone in ReZero. Someone in Decadence. Darwin's Game, Radiant 2, someone in Pokemon, someone in Shingeki no Kyojin, PP from Pop the Pipik, but again, who hasn't voiced PP, who hasn't voiced Popuko, someone from Date Alive, Gorilla Grodd in Ninja Batman, whatever the fuck that is. Ligado in Kekai Sensen and Beyond. I haven't finished watching Kekai Sensen and Beyond, so I don't know who that character is necessarily. And some other characters, probably mostly known for being Dio. Kuzan in One Piece. We are at 2012 currently, and I don't recognize any other characters here, I'm afraid. Adam Blade from Needless. Okay, I do recognize Adam. Excalibur in Soul Eater. And yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Mostly known for being Dio. That much I can say for sure. Okay. Amazing work. Honestly. I love this voice actor. And I love his role as Gabrielle here. See, this is what I'm talking about when I mention wonky face. Like, it seems like his nose is shifted to the right side of his face. The angle is unusual, but it's not handled all that well, I'm afraid. See, this looks good. This looks good. But this one frame just doesn't. Probably because the nose line connects to the brow, so it seems like the bridge of his nose is like right next to his eye, and I just dirtied my fucking glasses. Right? It seems like his nose is going like here. Instead of in the middle, it's going like by the side of his face. Fuck. By the side of his face. And it's not a great look. It's not a great look. I don't want to compromise my goal of being Heaven's No One gentleman. Yeah, he is very much gentlemanly. I gotta admit that. He's not using any, like, underhanded tactics or anything. He's very open. He's very, like, forthcoming. Right? I didn't want to wake you up. Who am I to disturb a sleeping family? I just waited for you to wake up. Right? I don't want to fight you. If we could talk it out, that would be great. I really like Gabriel. I really like his demeanor, I should say. I'm fine with taking just one or the other. I honestly thought it's gonna be a situation where Emilia gives up her sword for Alas Ramos, and maybe later gets a much more powerful sword or something like that, but apparently not. Yeah, the Izot Sephiroth was broken into lots of pieces. One of them is inside of the sword, another is inside of Alas Ramos. And yeah, of course, he's an angel, a powerful angel, and Emilia has a holy sword, who's made out of a shard of something that Gabrielle, like, guards. So yeah, it stands to reason that it would be fairly hard to attack him using it. Pleading, of course, full Dogeza. And he's willing to give up his own life, which is interesting. Yeah, why are you so hung up on this kid? She's a symbol of the hope I gained. Yeah, because when he was at his worst, at his weakest, he was rescued by an angel, and an angel gave him a seed, and from that seed sprouted Alas Ramos. Makes sense. When I was saved from death and reborn, indeed. Somewhere along the way, I forgot about that and became a ruler of demons. So maybe it is actually that the power kind of got to him. And in his, like, power trip, essentially, he decided to attack other nations. I'm still not sure if that's actually the case, but at least Mao believes that it is. She's heavens. I know the legend of the ancient King Satan. Ancient being the keyword here. And apparently, whatever that legend is, it's a reason to not let him take Alas Ramos. And yeah, it's also a reason for Gabriel to just change the plans and go after Mao. After what he said about the ancient King Satan. Now, we know that this series, the world building and the mythology of this series, is based on Jewish mythology, on Christian mythology, and not just vaguely, as in there are angels, and that's it, but actually there's like Tree of Yesod, there's all those Kabbalah things, there's the fact that Lucifer is actually a fallen angel and as such has command over lesser angels still, despite his corruption, despite his falling. Now, let's take a quick look at Satan. Not Satan. 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 Why did searching for Satan pop up Sonic the Hedgehog? What the fuck does Satan have to do with Sonic the Hedgehog? Okay, Satan. Right. Also sometimes called Lucifer in Christianity. We know that it's not the case here because Lucifer is a distinct entity. In Judaism, okay, let's talk about Judaism because this series does seem to have a lot of like its basis in Judaism. Satan is seen as an ancient subservient to God, typically regarded as a metaphor for the Yetzer Hara or evil incarnation. In Christianity and Islam, he's usually seen as a fallen angel or jinn who has rebelled against God, who nevertheless allows him temporary power over the fallen world and a host of demons. In the Quran, Shaitan, also known as Iblis, is an entity made of fire who was cast out of heavens because he refused to bow before the newly created Adam and incites humans to sin by infecting their minds with waswas, evil suggestions. In Hebrew Bible, there is Hesatan, the Satan, heavenly prosecutor subordinate to Yahweh. Okay, so in general, Satan, the ancient King Satan, has either been cast from the heavens because he refused to bow before Adam, before the first human, or he's actually an agent of God who's simply presiding over hell and like he's judging people and prosecuting them. I wonder what is it about the legend of the ancient King Satan that's so uncomfortable to the angels that Gabriel would be like immediately, oh, you know about ancient King Satan? Well, you gotta die. What could it be? What could it be? We know that things aren't how they look, right? Because of what Alas Ramos said about how they're all liars and whatnot. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I like how deep it's getting. I really do like that. No. There. Focus. You guys are liars. Malkuth told me. You became gods because of lies. You separated us, you looked us up, and you bullied Papa and Mama. Angels are liars and became gods because of lies. And they separated the Sephira. I'm assuming that's what Alas Ramos refers to as us. Separated the Sephira. To what end? And looked us up. To what end? Again, I think it might actually be like the long con, as I mentioned before, where the angels created a problem and presented themselves as a solution. I think that's like my biggest theory right now. But I'm gonna note down the relevant bits that angels are liars. Angels became gods. Gods because of lies. Because of lies, they locked up and separated the Sephira. That's gonna be relevant. I don't know if in this season or in future seasons should there be any, but it will be relevant. I'll never forgive you, and there she blows. I thought at first that it was just a beam of energy that blew away Adam and not Adam, Gabrielle, and it's essentially just Team Rocket blasting off again. But no, it's actually Alas Ramos just headbutting him, like jet headbutt, magic jet headbutt. Yeah, she's plenty powerful. Durandal, the sacred sword that cuts everything, including Emilia's sacred sword, which is interesting. We won't let you get in Gabriel's way, but of course, here comes Urushihara. And again with the like Borzoi face on fuck, I'm blanking on his name. Why am I blanking on his name? A Borzoi face on Alsiel. Right? The like withdrawn chin and snout. I don't know. Forgot what kind of a demon I am. I guess because yeah, Urushihara is a fallen angel, fallen archangel. So it stands to reason that angels would still be very much wary of him and subservient to him. Alas Ramos has no nose. She traded her nose for her powers. And here comes Maou Satan projectile. I initially thought that they're gonna go for like causing mass panic, right? Oh, there are people flying around and fighting. What's going on? And that panic, that fear, will give power to Maou, and he's gonna be able to stand up to Gabrielle. But apparently not. Apparently, just Alas Ramos was able to solve the issue. She blasted off. and joined Emilia's gear. And again, wonky faces. Like, I appreciate the animation because they're really, like, some bits here are actually pretty, actually great. Like, this bit of the sequence, right? But then suddenly you see her eyes starts to droop, and her eyes are drooping even more, and she suddenly gets a chin, and she's having a case of a side mouth. Although I guess, like, compared to her droopy eye, the side mouth isn't anything particularly major. And yeah, the animation is like genuinely mostly great. Some wonky frames, some wonky faces in some frames. That's my issue. It's not like characters constantly are drawn off model. No, it's that those few frames that sometimes happen that have very wonky faces that really take me out of my like immersion and enjoyment a little bit. Church gave you more than one piece of evolving heavenly silver, and apparently Alas Ramu's sword is stronger than even Durandal. Yeah, you don't give up. I'll collect the shards of Yesod eventually. Why are you so desperate to collect them now? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Why now? Is the power of the angels like waning? Are people starting to doubt them? To doubt their power? Something like that? That would be an explanation. Anything else? I'm not able to come up with anything else, honestly. I suggest you take some time to reflect on exactly what sort of a being you are. She's a half angel. I mean, we've known that, but what significance does it have? What this fight against me means? It means that she's fighting one side of her family, kinda sorta. Besides that, I don't know. Hmm. And of course, Alas Ramos is okay, but she's a part of Emilia's sword. And of course, Emmy is still all about killing Maou, and kind of hard to do when your sword is his daughter, right? Not the easiest, not the easiest outcome. I hope you'll choose to prioritize the world's safety. I'm assuming he alludes here to the fact that unstable Tree of Life missing one of the Sephirah, can put the world in danger, because that's what like the legend is. But we also heard Crestia Bell question that line of thought, question the validity of that. And I guess now it's a matter of whether Gabrielle is correct or Crestia is correct. Emmy should probably contact her friend, her lowly friend at her world, and have her research some, although that might be a very dangerous thing to research, right? Uh, Angels are mentioned to be liars, and I'm assuming the fact, the reason why Gabriel wanted to kill Mao Satan because he mentioned the ancient King Satan is because the legend of the ancient King Satan has been eradicated by the angels because it puts them in a bad light or something like that. It very much seems like damage controlled by the angels, right? We can't allow the legend of the ancient King Satan to spread. We can't allow the shards of Yesod to be who knows where. We can't allow this, we can't allow that, because all of that threatens our power, all of that threatens our standing. That's the vibe I'm getting here, in any case. No, forward, not backwards. We wouldn't want a second coming of Demon King Satan's calamity. Which ones? Mao's? I think we're safe on that front. I really think that the way Mao is now, even if he were to go back to Ente Isla, he would strive for integration. Honestly, that's the vibe I'm getting. Not conquest, integration. Right? Slowly introduce humans to demons, demons to humans, and learn to live together besides each other as neighbors, as allies, sharing the same world, not necessarily conquering. I think that I genuinely think this would be the new like the new ambition for Mao, not conquest, unification. Or is he talking about the calamity of the ancient King Satan? In which case, is that ancient King Satan still around? Or is it just an unfounded fear that maybe Mao will become like the ancient King Satan? Ah, and this scene. The kid and the sword fused, yeah. Something about wings. We don't even know where the other wing is. What the fuck is the other wing? That's the first time wing is mentioned at all. Wing, wings. First time. I don't recall anything like, I don't know, Emilia having a single wing. Like sometimes half angels are portrayed, right? They only have a single wing. Uh, I don't recall anybody actually having just a single wing. I don't recall wings being items either. They're a trait of the angel race, not an item that you possess. So again, another thing that I have no clue about. The other wing. Isn't it obvious who has the other one? Who stole Yesod in the first place? Emilia's mother. One thing I want to check out still here. Emilia's mother's name. And I want to Google that name real quick. Lila. Lila. Similar to like Lilith. But I don't think it would be Lilith. Lila. Lila is an angel. There you go. Straight up. Yeah, an angel in some interpretations of the Talmud, and in some later Jewish mythology associated with the night, as well as conception and pregnancy. Okay. Hebrew word for night, Lila. Anything interesting? Passages from Talmud. Something from Midrash. In charge of conception, night. Not much on the Wikipedia about Lila. Okay, I guess she's the angel of night and the angel of conception, which makes sense why she would be the one to have a child with a human man, I guess. Huh. Ha 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 ha. Interesting. Yeah, that was episode 4 of Hataraku Maou-sama Season 2. And it's really getting deep. The animation and the art suffers a little bit still, but the themes and the mythology and the world building is much deeper than it was in season 1, for example. Right? It really feels like season 1 was a prelude, so to speak, and the true Hataraku maou-sama story begins with this season, right? The story of Alas Ramos, the story of Mao, the story of the angels and the tree of Yesod, and not the tree of Yesod, the tree of life, and all the Sephira, the conspiracy around the angels, Emilia's mother and her significance, all that stuff is suddenly getting dropped here, and I'm all about it. I'm all for it. I love when a show is deep. I love it when it actually makes me Google fucking Kabbalah and other stuff like that. Like, when you watch a show and it makes you read a passage from Talmud or some other holy text, and it makes you decipher the meaning behind someone's name, you know it's a well put together show. You really can tell. Uh, Anything else that needs to be said about this episode? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I said all that needed to be said about it. I really did enjoy it for its like meritorical content. The visual side, maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys didn't notice any wonkiness whatsoever. Maybe the show has been wonky to this degree all the time, but for some reason it's only now that I'm noticing it. I don't know, but this episode looked particularly wonky to me. Now again, I'm able to like not pay much attention to lower quality art and animation when the content is good, and the content is good, don't get me wrong. But I'd still much rather prefer if both the content and the presentation were great, which sadly isn't the case. Like, at the very beginning, sure, I was able to like throw some of my worries away when I learned that the art style is much more similar to the art style from the light novels than what was in season 1. But some of those like wonky faces and wonky angles, you can't just chuck it up to just art style, because no matter the art style, like some things are like bad, just bad looking. Some are just good looking, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna shut up right now. I'm no artist, but maybe you guys are, and you can tell me what did you think of the art and the animation in this episode. Some bits were cool, like Emilia's transformation. I'm a huge sucker for like partial transformation, where you only get gauntlets and like boots and maybe a little bit of a chest plate or a helmet or a crown or something like that, and not a full suit of armor. Kind of a little bit bummed that we didn't get full gauntlets, because in the first season Emilia got like actual full plate gauntlets. This looked more like just bracers. Not a huge fan of this change, but then again, maybe it's just more in line with how Emilia's transformation looks in the source material. So I'm not gonna hold it against it. Besides that, yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna be waiting for future episodes for sure, because I need to learn more about the mystery of why Mao decided to conquer another world. I need to learn about what the fuck is the deal with the angels and with Alas Ramos and with Emilia's mother and all that stuff. So many mysteries. Thankfully, we still have like 8 episodes to go, which is a lot, and I hope we're gonna learn a lot from those 8 upcoming episodes. But right now, you guys, you let me know down in the comments what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, of my theories. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Tell me what you thought of the art, of the content, your theories, your personal theories about what the fuck is the deal with the angels and all that stuff. Maybe I missed something, maybe I didn't. Talk to me about it. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Hataraku Maou-sama Season 2, but also Yofukashi no Uta Call of the Night. Amazing show, highly recommend. If you want something like visually stunning, that's the show to watch. Symphogear GX, Madoka Magica that I started watching just now. There's like one episode up on Patreon, and it's gonna be going live on YouTube on Monday, so might want to subscribe for that. There is also Ruby Ice Queendom, there is also Overlord Season 4, and I'm also playing through Disco Elysium. If you're into playthroughs more than reactions, that's something you can also watch. You click the bell, you know the drill. If you want to support the channel, you can do that monetarily on Patreon or Throne. On Patreon, for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Madoka Magica, like Symphony GX, like Disco Elysium. I kind of sort of treat it as a non-seasonal show. For $5, you get to vote in polls. One such poll brought Madoka Magica to you. And for just $1, you get access to a role on the Discord server, and you also get a place in the credits. Speaking of Discord, you can join it right now. Link up here, link also in the description. It's free, it's open to everybody, so come hang out with us. See my photos as I tour my city and lose my phone battery on just bullshit instead of recording videos. Anything else? You can also support the channel by not spending money. As I mentioned at the very beginning, sharing my content, spreading the word also helps a lot. The word of mouth really helps a lot for the growth of a channel, so I appreciate it very, very much. And with all that out of the way, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be one of those people if you only so desire.